So hello there and welcome to a lower body class that we're going to do today. So for this class, you're going to need a myofascial release ball, or if you don't have a myofascial release ball, then grab a tennis ball or something not too hard, because we are going to work on the feet and the calves. And then also, I always recommend that it's handy to have a couple of yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, then maybe like some sturdy books. I'll explain as we go what they're going to be used for. So just pop the blocks down, and then from here, just grab your myofascial release ball, and we'll make a start with some myofascial release for the feet, one of my favorite things to do. So if you just want to get the ball underneath the arch of the foot and just put a decent amount of pressure on and roll up and down. And then from here, bring the ball where the ball of the foot meets the arch, bring the heel down, press down, and go side to side. And then you're going to bring the ball where the heel meets the arch, and again press down and go side to side. Then bring the ball underneath the big toe. If you do have a tennis ball, it might be a little bit slippy, so you might need to go to the wall. If you've got one of these myofascial release balls, they are quite sticky. And bring the big toe onto the ball, try and get the rest of the toes down onto the ground, press the big toe into the ball, and then if you can, if you have enough extension in your big toe, see if you can lift and lower the heel. So just a kind of little heel pump there. And then bring the ball underneath the rest of the toes, same thing, press down, and again, see if you can lift and lower the heel. And then from here, just a light scribble underneath the foot with the ball. And then we'll head on to the other foot. So just bring the ball underneath the arch of the foot, press down, and just roll up and down. And make sure you get like the outer arch, the inner arch, as well as going through the middle. I love this. And then bring the heel down, bring the ball where the ball meets the arch, and press down, go side to side. And then bring the ball where the heel meets the arch, do the same. Press down and go side to side. From here, bring the ball underneath the big toe, press it down. Try and get the other toes as close to the ground as you can. And again, option to lift and lower the heel, or just push the big toe into the ball. Just getting that stretch through the big toe. And then move the ball underneath the rest of the toes. Usually my pinky toe doesn't quite fit, so yours might drop off, don't worry too much. And again, the option is to lift and lower the heel. And then from here, again, just that light scribble. And then we're going to continue with a little bit more myofascial release. So we're going to get the ball underneath the calf. Now this is one that gets people quite a lot. So if you just want to bend into one leg, bring the sole of the foot onto the ground, bring the ball underneath the calf of the other leg, bring your hands behind you, and sometimes this can make your shoulders, your hands get sore. So feel free just to keep stopping, give your wrists a shake, and then just press into the foot of that bent knee so you can lift the hips, and then just roll up and down. Whew. And you can go up and down the center of the calf. You can also turn the toes slightly out. So you get the outer calf. And then you can turn the toes slightly in. So you get that inner calf. And then you can just come to sit. You can do this for as long as you like, by the way, if you're quite enjoying it. You can just come to sit, take the weight off your hands, give your wrists a little shake, and then just bring the ball kind of into the center of the calf somewhere. lay some weight onto the leg. So just make sure the leg is nice and heavy. And then from here, you can just kind of point and flex. Just doing a little bit of pin and stretch. Feel free to move up or down. Just do it in a couple of different places. I always find the closer I get to my ankle, the more painful or delicate it can be. Obviously, you want to avoid too much pain, so you're clenching, but sometimes these areas can be a little bit tender. So maybe just take one more place for that pin and stretch. And then from here, just swap legs. So I'll just spin myself around. So again, just straightening the leg where the ball goes under, bending into the other knee, hands behind you, lift the hips, and then just roll up and down. And then you can turn the toes out. And you can turn the toes in. Oh. I was hiking yesterday, so I'm definitely feeling this. And then again, you can just let the leg rest. Make sure the leg is nice and heavy. Sometimes I find if I sit up and sit forward a little bit more, just kind of adds a little bit more weight. Find a point, and again, you can just do that little pin and stretch. Pointing and flexing through the foot. And again, you can move it up or down. You can also turn the toes out or in. So just find a position where maybe you feel it might be a little bit more beneficial. Maybe moving to one more point. And then from here, just release the ball. We're going to find a 90-90 shape. So last little bit of myofascial release. So find a 90-90 shape with your legs. If this feels like it's too much for your hips for any reason, you can always lean to the side here. And you don't have to be an exact 90-degree angle or anything. We're basically just going to work on the outside of the leg. So if you find your shin bone, and then just to the side of your shin bone, as if you're going kind of to the outside of the leg around to the calf, that's kind of where the ball wants to be placed. So just find a position there and then just place the ball there, and literally you're just kind of rolling up and down. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. And again, that back leg can be doing whatever it likes just now, and you can be down on your elbow here if that 90-90 position, especially a lot of people find they get a bit of pinching in the hip. I often find as you get down towards the ankle in this bit, it can be a little bit nippy. For me, I quite enjoy it because I know it's something that I kind of need, but for some people it can be a bit intense. So as I said, you kind of want to be a bit relaxed when you're doing myofascial release, so just be mindful. And then we go on to the back leg. So now, again, if you find your shin bone, it's kind of towards the inside of that shin bone. That's where the ball placement wants to be. And again, oh, definitely feeling that one. You can just roll up and down. And you often do find there's a difference between legs, as you've probably found already when you were doing your feet as well. And again, the closer I get to my ankle, the more tender it becomes. You can possibly see me screwing up my face here a little bit. Just move this foot out of the way. And then we work on the other leg. And again, we're just doing this really quickly. So if you do find that you find some tender spots and you want to do a little bit more, you can always just pause this video. So again, we just go up and down. So remember, that's just to the outside of that shin bone. So your toes might be turning slightly down. Just see how it feels. And again, you can just keep moving the ball or move yourself up and down, whatever works best for you. And just kind of rocking that leg back and forward. And then we go to the back leg. And again, that ball is just placed on the inside. Very tender. Whew. And that's enough of that for now. So just pop your ball to the side. And we'll just do a little bit of ankle warm-up. So again, you can just be sitting for this. You can also sit on a chair if that's easier for you. Just pick up one leg. And just hook your arm underneath the leg just so you can lift the foot off the floor. You can do it whatever you like with the other leg. And then from here, just think about squeezing the arm with the calf, just so you're adding a little bit of tension. So this movement's coming from your ankle, not your knee. And then just point and flex. And then just do some side to side scoops with your foot. And then we put this all together in some circles so you can go toes down to one side and towards you over to the other side. And again, really making sure that that movement is just coming from your ankle. Let's do one more. And then you can go the other way. I've done 3 circles, or I will be doing 3 circles in each direction. One more. And then just release, and then we'll do the other leg. So again, just hook your arm underneath your leg, just do a little bit of point and flex, make sure you're squeezing that arm between the back of your thigh and your calf. And then we do these side to side scoops. And then we do our circles. So again, just 3, or at least 3 nice slow controlled circles in each direction. Going the opposite way. And then again, just give your leg a little bit of a shake. Okay, we're going to come up to stand. So just bring yourself up to a standing position, and we'll just go through a little routine of some calf raises and some shin raises. So you're just standing next to a wall, or you can put your hand also on a chair, something that will help you find your balance. Try and stay quite upright here, so think about the crown of the head reaching up. Spread your toes nice and wide, and then lift your heels as high as you can and just tap them down. Lift as high as you can, tap. That's 3, 4, 5, try not to go forward here, 6, so straight up, 7, 8, 9, 10, we'll do 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then just bring your bum to the wall, walk your feet forward, hinge at the hip, so you're looking down at your toes, spine nice and long, and then pull the tops of the feet towards the shins. If you need cushioning under your heels, just drag your mat over and then tap the feet down. So just lifting and lowering. And that's 4, 5, lift as high as you can, 6, feel the shin muscles engage. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And if you're not feeling that when you do them, lean a little bit more forward. So you're putting a little bit more load into the legs. Next one we're going to do is sissy squats. So I'm going to come here so you can see. So again, hands are on the wall, or you can have your hands on a chair here. Lift the heels. Try and stay quite upright. So think about leaning back as you send the knees towards the wall. And then come back up and drop the heels. So lift the heels, lean back a bit, so your knees are going to the wall, squat down, come back up and drop. That's 2. Coming down, lifting up, dropping the heels, 3. 4, 5, 6. If your knees are feeling it, don't go down as low. 7. We'll just do 10 of these. 8, 9, and 10, because they can be quite intense. Okay, next one we're going to do is single leg calf raises. So I'll just move these blocks out of the way just now, just so you can see. So single leg calf raises. You're going to have the ball of the foot onto the block. Again, holding onto a chair or the wall. Again, I'll do this sideways so you can see. So take a little bend into the knee, and then lift the heel as high as you can, and then see if you can drop the heel down past the block, and then press to lift up again. Drop it down, lift up, that's 2. Down, 3, 4, 5, 6, lift as high as you can, 7, 8, you might be shaking, 9, and 10. If that's too much on the block, you can always do them on the floor as well and then just build up. So let's do the other leg. So again, ball the foot on the block, lift the heel, lift your other leg, and then take a little bend into the knee, lift the heel as high as you can, drop it down, lift up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. Definitely like, ooh. Okay, let's do a few more shin raises here. So if you want to bring your bum to the wall, walk your feet out, hinge at the hip, lean forward, and then lift the tops of the feet to the shins, tap down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Woohoo! Good little sequence. So that's a really nice little sequence just to start to warm everything up. The next thing we're going to do is some step ups to start to engage the glutes, and then also some step downs. So again, just bring a block, or if you don't have a block, again, you could use like a thick book or something like that. Have the wall there for support, but eventually what you want to do is not use the wall as much, and that goes with your calf raises, everything. So really starting to bring more power into the legs. So the foot that's closest to the wall is the foot that's on the block. The other foot is behind, so you're just coming onto your toes. But this is more like a kickstand, so you're not really leaning weight into that, you're leaning weight into the front leg. So lean forward, reach the chest forward, bum back, and then just start to bend and straighten the knee of the foot that's on the block. And really think about engaging your glute. So as you bend and straighten the knee, think about squeezing that area around your sitting bone. Keep pushing the heel down. Really think that heel to glute connection, and then push the foot down once you start to feel your your bum begin to warm up. Push the foot down, bring the other knee in towards the chest, and then squeeze that glute to drive the hip forward, and chest lifts. And then we just tap the foot back, and then we bring the knee in, squeeze and lift, that's 2. Tap back, squeeze and lift, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We'll just do 10 just now, but feel free to build this up as well to 15 or even 20 if you're feeling daring. Same thing, other leg. So your other leg, foot that's closest to the wall is the one that's on the block. Other foot is behind. Lean the weight forward, push down through your heel, just bend and straighten that knee first. Squeeze the area around your sitting bone of that standing leg. Start to feel your glutes fire up. And then once you start to feel that warm sensation, push down through the heel, bring the knee into the chest, tap it back, 1, 2, 3, 4, drive the hip forward, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, back to the original leg. Now we'll do some step downs. So foot on the block, chest forward, bum back. This time, your other leg is reaching forward. So pull the top of the foot towards the shin, push away with the heel. And then bend into the knee of that foot that's on the block. See if you can bring that heel as close to the ground as you can. And then push to straighten the leg, squeeze the glute. That's 1. And again, coming up, 2. Tap down, come up, 3. Keep reaching the chest forward, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, other leg. So chest forward, bum back, reach with your heel, bend the knee, push to come up, 1, 2, keep hugging the hip in, 3, 4, knee forward, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, back to the original leg. Yes, I know. So foot on the block. This time we're stepping out to the side and bringing the leg in. So you bring the leg out to the side and then hug the hip in, stand up 1, 2, just tapping the toes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other leg. So again, foot out to the side, bending that standing knee, hug in, stand up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. One more, cross behinds now. So you might want to bring the block slightly further away from the wall if it is quite close to the wall. So this time, again, foot as closest to the wall as the one on the block. We're going to cross the leg behind, tap the toes, almost like a curtsy squat, and then you're going to swing the leg out to the side. So cross behind and tap, swing out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other leg. So again, cross behind, bending into that standing knee, up and straighten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. Okay, next, split squats. I know you're going to hate me for this, but we're doing them anyway. So we'll just do 10 each leg. But for these split squats, what I want you to think about is trying to get that front knee forward of the ankle if it feels okay. So stepping the back foot behind. If you have any toe issues, you can also do Bulgarian split squats by bringing that foot onto a chair. Then you're going to lean the weight forward here. And then you're just going to bend into both knees. Maybe the knee taps briefly down, and then really push through that front heel, squeeze the glute, pull the hip back to come up. So we come down, 2, down, 3, leaning the weight forward, 4, so just slightly different maybe than your traditional split squats, 5, I can't say split squats today, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and swap legs. So again, up on your toes, lean the weight forward. So if it feels okay, let that knee come forward, the ankle, it's absolutely fine. And then come down, so it's all on this front leg. Pull the hip back 1, really push through the heel, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, okay, we're almost there. Side lunges, just bending into one knee, sinking over to the side and coming back through center over to the other side. You can tap the knee with your hands. So just moving side to side. While I get my breath back after the split squats. So just getting that lateral movement in. For 3, 2, 1, hold, sink the hips down. Push away with the heel, get that inner thigh stretch. And then back through center over to the other side. Hold, you can always bring your hand down or hands onto your blocks. And then come back through center, just walk the feet in. Okay, we're going to come down to a kneeling position. If you want, you can have your blocks handy here. Sometimes it's nice to have your hands on your blocks because for some people sitting back on the heels isn't comfortable. So you can always bring a block underneath your seat or a couple of blocks underneath your seat. If you can, try and bring your knees together or as close as you can. And then for some of you, you might just sit back here, or for some of you, you might take a little rock side to side, or for some of you, twist towards one knee. So opposite hand, so I'm twisting towards my left knee. My right hand is going to come onto my knee. And I'm going to use that right hand to pull the knee in towards me. And I'm sitting the weight back here, so I'm getting an ankle stretch on the front of the ankle. Definitely feel that. And then we just swap. So if you're lifting your right knee, the left hand will come to the knee, right fingertips behind, and again, just pull the knee in towards you. Sit back as much as you can. And then bring that knee down. Tucking the toes. So for some of you, I always get my pinky toes stuck, so I kind of need to flick it out. And then for some of you, you might want to just bring the hands forward. Maybe this is enough. Or for some of you, you're sitting back on the heels again. You can bring those knees a little bit closer together and try and think about the heels also moving towards each other. So you're really loading that big toe. And again, if you want, you can take that little rock side to side, or you can just be still. Just do a bit of breath work. You can roll out the wrists as well. If you want to add something in, just to take your mind off the toes, off the feet. Just taking another few breaths here if you can. And then just coming forward, you can just give the toes a little tap. And then we are going to grab our blocks here. You're going to tuck your toes again. You don't have to sit all the way back here, so if it feels too much, you don't have to. So just bring your hands onto your blocks for a bit of support, and then just push into the blocks and lift the knees. So we're just coming into a little bit of a squat. So lift the knees and then just walk the feet out. Turn the toes slightly out, heels slightly in, and then you can just walk the blocks forward if you like, and just come down to any degree of squat that feels okay. So maybe you're quite high, maybe you're a little bit lower, and just take a little rock side to side, just lifting one heel and dropping the other. So again, you're just giving the toes a bit more of a stretch. And then from here, again, you can have the hands onto the blocks, or you can have your hands on your legs. Try and think about pressing your belly, your ribs towards your thighs, and then just lift the hips as much as you can, straightening the legs just a little bit. It doesn't have to be completely straight. It doesn't work for most people. And then just start to drop the hips again. Maybe they come halfway, maybe they come all the way down into your squat, lift the head. So as the hips lift, the heels drop. And then usually as the hips drop, the heels lift for most people. And just do a few like this, just lifting and lowering the hips, just getting that little stretch into the ankles, the calves, the hamstrings. And then just find your forward fold, walk the feet in. Again, maybe the elbows, the hands might be on the blocks, or you can just let the arms dangle down and just take a few breaths here. Just allowing the spine to decompress, stretching through the backs of the legs. And then just softening the knees, slowly coming up to stand. And that is us done for today. So I really hope you enjoyed that class. Just a little bit of lower leg care here to help the knees. So if you do have issues with your knees, this is a really good one to do for that. Do let me know if you want anything else special, and I will see you all again very soon.